that are favorable to the Israelis and detrimental to the American people. That the president's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, was literally one of the important figures in Benjamin Netanyahu's re-election campaign and helped him get re-elected. It is a huge freaking problem. She's the one who's the gatekeeper. She's the one who gets to decide what kind of information the president of the United States has access to, what types of conversations he's allowed to have. It is a huge problem when Israelis and their assets have infiltrated every nook and cranny of the US federal government and carry out policies that are favorable to the Israelis and detrimental to the American people. That the
Well, Alex Jones was correct once again, vindicated over his coverage of the SPLC over the years. In fact, if you go to their website, Alex Jones is listed as an extremist on their website. You know that's how he's over the target on all of this. Of course, now we have this indictment from Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, why now, from the Trump administration, for wire fraud, all sorts of fraud in this indictment about the SPLC. Specifically labeled in the indictment is their funding of KKK leaders in order to basically foment chaos. In our last guest, we just talked about the strategy of tension, of course, which has been used by NATO for years under Operation Gladio, and to keep us in this perpetual state of chaos, funding both the left and the right, and telling us that, yes, in the United States, white supremacy is our greatest threat to the future of our country. Alex Jones joins us now, who has been vindicated once again. Alex, our friend, welcome back to the show. Great to see you.
Big fan of you guys. Great to be here. Love to have you on my show. Come on anytime. Yeah, I mean, I could do 10 hours on the SPLC. When I first got on air in 1994, Ted Gunderson, General Parton, when Oklahoma City happened, literally exploded on the scene, warning everybody the SPLC had basically run the whole attack. I interviewed the federal informants, the witnesses, everybody, FBI whistleblowers came out. I mean, this really blew up in their face, pun intended. And so I really learned about them then. And then I had them infiltrate us through an employee 4 years ago, and they published, what they found, which was nothing, and just crazy town stuff. But they are really the mothership to the ADL, and it's not just $1 billion they have in offshore accounts; it's multi-billions. And we've learned German intelligence, because U.S. intelligence likes to use a foreign agency, kind of like they use the British to go after Trump with Crossfire Hurricane. German intelligence is the main command base for them, kind of through the Marshall Plan, the CIA, through NATO, and British MI6. And so the entire racist revolution of the KKK, the Aryan Nations, National Vanguard, all of it is run by them, and they are the chief group. So now Todd Blanche, to his credit, I don't just believe Todd Blanche because I've been a big critic. I know he's right because I already know it. He goes on Fox and says, no, Biden killed investigations into them by the FBI for money laundering. Well, we know that. And so the Biden administration, this is as far back as they're going, goes back 50 years, the Democrats and the deep state is in control of the Southern Poverty Law Center that does all of this. They're tied to Fast and Furious, just everything. And they directly command. It's not informants. It's the leadership from Dr. William Pierce of Nat Van to all the groups is them literally creating this. So this is Jesse Smollett to the power of infinity. And the fact that Trump did this, finally something good from his DOJ. And I was told by Ed Martin when I was in D.C. like 8 months ago with him, he said, no, we're looking into the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ADL and the NGOs. He wouldn't tell me the details, but he said it's incredible. He also told me, which later came out in the news, that he has the chief of staff, coming in saying, yeah, it was a committee that was really the president, not Biden. And of course, that got killed. So I'm very upset. They just killed the investigation into former CIA Director John Brennan. So I'm very critical of Blanche. But the fact that Trump's doing this is striking right at the Democrat Party's control of the deep state. You couldn't hit at the heart of the system closer than the Southern Poverty Law Center. So this is ultra massive. If you look, just type in Alex Jones sued over Charlottesville. I was sued by a former State Department employee that worked for Hillary Clinton. Didn't even talk about him. I just said, look, the Southern Poverty Law Center was so sloppy, their NGO, a sub-NGO, funded crowdfunding for Charlottesville to go out and meet protesters. And I said, that's their MO. So they sued me, Southern Poverty Law Center, through Georgetown. That's a CIA front for these groups. And then when it went to trial, they dropped it, but it still cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars when I was over the target on the fact they were staging that event. And so, yeah, I have been battling them for at least 25 years. And the former head of the FBI in L.A., Ted Gunderson, the former head of Air Force Weapons Development, General Parton, they all immediately, because I started in 94 at an Access show, then a local radio show, and so I had a big show right away, got syndicated very quickly. I got to talk to all the original OGs who wouldn't release classified information on air. They would just tell me what was happening, but they had all the classification. And they were like, no, this is the mothership, the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's the heart of this. And so I'm the leading living expert on this, not just an expert, but a victim of them. And it has just been hellish dealing with them. And they've been behind the lawsuits, quarterbacking it all. I mean, these are some very, very, I see these promos, AIs of purple hair people going, look, let's manufacture racism to get more donations. That's not what this is. No. They're creating it to create division and balkanization and divide and conquer and civil war in America. Okay, the donations are just icing on the cake. So this action by Todd Blanche and them, I said, I'll call balls and strikes. I was beside myself 2 days ago when this broke, and now the fact that Blanche is like, no, it's a false flag. No. They don't just have infiltrators. They run these groups. That is 100% dead on. So I'll give Todd Blanche credit where credit's due. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a lot more to come.
Well, not only does it scare people unnecessarily, we don't know what the state of racism would actually be without this manipulation and perversion. It also expands government power. And we saw in the wake of the Oklahoma City bombing, we had broader definition of material support. So the government started to say you can't support these extremist groups, which is exactly now what they're being indicted on. But also we've had greater use of surveillance tools, greater use of FISA. And so it was also a government expansion massively under Clinton, right?
Well, Bill Clinton famously on Air Force One, when he won re-election in 1996, he said, I owe my re-election to the Oklahoma City bombing. Just look up, Bill Clinton owes re-election to Oklahoma City bombing. So they did that. Eric Holder was a deputy AG at the time. He later ran Fast and Furious to supply Al-Qaeda and ISIS with weapons and blame Second Amendment owners with that. This is their MO. And then they got caught really bad. I mean, they had to kill Terrence Yegi, the first cop to respond. I interviewed the K-9 unit, second guy to respond, Sergeant Browning, who threatened to kill him and his wife, the FBI, in his offices. I interviewed everybody basically involved who were witnesses to the deputy head of the ATF and others they saw in the maintenance areas planting what they call gray sticks of butter. They said they were phone repair crews, but a bunch of the bombs didn't go off. So we've known this since Elohim City. They had Carol Howell, the FBI informant, went public and said, no, there was a real bombing. McVeigh got upset and said he was Special Operations, Delta Force. He said, I'm not going to be part of the bombing. So they drugged him up and had him arrested. We had FBI whistleblowers on that. So we know who this group is back to that. But notice Blanche them in the indictment talk about them funding criminal attacks. Not just cross burnings, but you're going to find winding up mentally ill people that go and shoot up black churches. Remember that?
Right.
So,
yes.
And shooting up Focus on the Family. These are very, again, people are like, oh, they're purple-haired liberals that stage racism to get money. No, that's a cover, folks. This is a multinational NATO. Post-World War II, they set up the Marshall Plan so the CIA could operate in Europe and with no congressional oversight. And so, from my intel, German, and it's come out in the news as well, German intelligence that's been caught staging massive false flags in Germany against the right wing, firebombing Turkish people and all that. This is who they are. So these are the thoroughbred four horsemen of doom. I mean, these are the Darth Vaders of the leftist deep state. They're the captains of Antifa with Soros. They create the blueprint plans for that. I mean, Trump has struck directly at the mothership, which is a good sign with all the bad signs we saw. If Trump continues down this road, he is going directly for the jugular of these people.
Do you believe it's because their funding has been largely disrupted with what's happening overseas right now that this is coming out? It just seems, and the timing of all of this is so weird. We just had Colonel Towner Watkins on to talk about how they've known about this since the 1970s, right? This is all part of the Operation Gladio, NATO leave-behind armies.
Like you said, exactly. NATO, Gladio, Steve Pachinik, back channel. I'm not saying Pachinik's behind this, but he ran Gladio as part of the operation. They took the Gladio model of blowing up school buses, blaming it on the Russians. That's declassified in Italy and things. And they move this over here, and that's basically the plan.
And so,
it's
what
really
is
hard for people to wrap their hands around the fact that their own government will fund attacks on them in order to expand their power and create chaos.
I mean, because we talk about
Hitler was elected president by a narrow margin, and the chancellor would not resign, and so they staged the Reichstag burning, February 27, 1933, so that the Kaiser Wilhelm would resign and Hitler became the Fuhrer, meaning the leader of the upper and lower house of the Bundestag. And so that's how we got Hitler. So why would the Germans firebomb their own building and blame it on a communist mentally ill person, Marinus van der Lubbe? It was because it works. I mean, this is how this works. This is statecraft.
Right. Talk to Iraqi Jews who were bombed by the Zionists in order to move into Israel. It happens. It's just extremely hard to believe you live in a world like this.
Let's go back to Ruby Ridge. Let's talk about Waco, and let's dive a little bit deeper here into Oklahoma City specifically. How would and we don't know specifically, maybe you do, on Waco and Ruby Ridge, but as our last guest just talked about, Colonel Watkins, that was the start of the white supremacist narrative. You have a mentally ill white veteran. You have you have the start of that white supremacist narrative emerging, and then of course capped off with the Oklahoma City bombing. It'd be strange it's hard for me to believe that the SPLC wouldn't be involved in Ruby Ridge and Waco.
It's on record. I knew Randy Weaver and everybody, but I got to sit at the feet of Ted Gunderson and General Parton, so everything they told me was true. It all came out. Okay, so here's how it works. In World War II, unlimited funding, Marshall Plan, NATO, and so they set up Operation Gladio here domestically in the future, that what if American patriots get upset, we won't just blow up bombs and blame the Russians, to fight them. We will do that domestically. And you have all the movies, Civil War, one battle after another, predicting a Civil War. They're promoting all of this, and so it's very, very simple. The first press conference after Biden stole the election in 2021 was them getting up and saying the number one terror threat is white supremacists. It's the number one crime in America, even though it basically doesn't exist. It's like finding a unicorn or a Lucky Charms elf or something, or so it's insane. And then they put up we can put it on screen, I told the crew to have it. They put up that national terrorism executive order in June of 2021 saying white supremacism is the number one threat. But then they define white supremacism as protesting lockdowns, protesting shots, protesting wars, being against anything Biden does. And then they use basically any crime statistic, and even including black people to say they're white, to then create this thing that Homeland Security is now not pointed at Islam, that they claim with 9/11, but now it's pointed back what they originally tried with Waco, which was declassified, that they said, let's just pick this group, let's go kill them, let's get America behind this, and now we'll have a way to basically take the country over. So this has been the globalist, leftist, Soros, ADL, Southern Poverty Law Center move, is how do they set the stage to stage a civil war, and then out of the crisis of the Civil War, they have an excuse for martial law and to basically end the republic. So that's what this whole thing has been, and it's just so devastating that now this has been brought out. by Trump. And when I saw this 2 days ago, I was driving home. I went home early, like 6 o'clock. I almost ran off the road. And then I mean, literally, I was like, because it just doesn't fit. Like if I was Trump, this is exactly what I would do. And I knew Ed Martin was investigating. He didn't tell me details. He said, "Oh, by the way, we're at the Southern Poverty Law Center. We got incredible stuff, and we're going after the ADL." And I was like, "God, you better be safe." He goes, "Well, I have all this oversight. I can see everything, but they won't let me do anything. But I I'm not going to say what he said, but the point is he's being blocked." And I was like, "This is incredible. Good luck." But the fact that they picked up his investigation and did this shows that Trump understands that. Here's the deal. From best I understand, this is speculation. Trump could either expose the whole Epstein thing, which he thinks will kill the stock market. He's not involved, but a bunch of people, big people are, Democrat mainly, but still. Or he could use the file to blackmail them. And I said over a year and a half ago, I said, if he goes for that route, which I was told by a confidant of Trump he was going to do, I said, sir, they're going to turn around and stab you in the back. Okay, so let's be Machiavellian here for a minute. You can't trust them. So I think the fact that he's going after them, this is speculation, because 99% of what I do is just pure information, but this is speculation, is Trump finally gets it. And the fact that he gets the keys at the Southern Poverty Law Center, that's Obama, that's NATO, that's the deep foundation, deep state. I mean, he gets that information, and the guys over there are going to roll right over. If he finally presses it, he has them. I mean, this is doomsday for them.
What about the ADL part of it? What about the ADL part of it? Because, as you mentioned, they're in lockstep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ADL is mainly about buying off local police, using dirt, pushing brainwashing and censorship. It's more of the public arm, but it's the left arm. The Southern Poverty Law Center is the muscle. I mean, they're not blue, purple-haired. Oh, look, they're all a bunch of black people. That's just the front when you see the photos. It's an international NATO intelligence operation. I mean, they're killers. In fact, I've said on air, I said, if I get killed, for years, they're the main suspect.
Wow.
So they're the teeth of the globalists. And the fact that Trump just knocked their teeth in, because they didn't just come out with a little bit. They said, no, they run the white supremacists, which they do. So the fact that it was so full-throated, and now Blanche is on TV saying Biden protected them and blocked investigations by the FBI. I mean, you look at that signature, this is, and again, people say, well, wait, you're off the Trump train, you're on the Trump train. Trump has always been better than the Democrats. I'm just going to call balls and strikes. So paradoxically, they go, my listeners are like, wait, you're mad at Trump? Now this is great. Yeah, it's like calling balls and strikes. You make of it what you want. This sends chills up my spine that they did this, and the way they did it and what they said is true. Don't just believe them. I'm an expert on it. It's beyond a shot over the bow. Okay, yeah. This is letting Obama and Holder and all them know. We know where you hid the cookies in the cookie jar. We know we this is grabbing them by the balls.
Right. Something that J. Christian Adams, he was a lawyer in the Justice Department during the Obama years, and he said Obama fundraised for the ADL, for the Southern Poverty Center, and here's how he did it, is he would have his Justice Department go and file very flimsy lawsuits against, say, I don't know, Company B, and say, well, you've been accused of racism. And Company B would get so scared that they're being indicted by the federal government that they would offer a settlement, and the Obama Justice Department would say—
that's old-fashioned Jesse Jackson NAACP shakedowns.
Would say, well, here's what you do. Then you have to make a big donation to the Southern Poverty Center or the ADL or, yes, the NAACP. So what that was Obama acting as a shakedown. Yeah, and moving money, government money, into these organizations.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this happened. It's detailed.
That's all on record.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Al Sharpton. That's the old model. And then they went, how about we just cause a race war and use martial law for total control?
Or that.
Which came out in Obama documents that leaked like 10 years ago, that he was wanting to cause a martial law, before the election, his second election. Yeah, so this is, I'm telling you, you want to hit the heart of the heart. I mean, you don't do this. So this is Trump going right at the jugular. I mean, there's no way to dial this back or say this isn't devastating. I mean, this is like, I'm so pissed at Blanche. He killed the investigation of the CIA, FBI, DOJ declassified running all the lawfare against me with Ed Martin. But I didn't get mad at Trump about that 6 months ago. I said, okay, I'll just move on. But so I don't trust Blanche. So I've analyzed every angle of this. And from my sources, they said, no. There's about to be a lot more of this, because Trump it's not enough that he's going to pardon all his people when he leaves in 2.5 years. He's got to blow these people up. And the way to do it is to expose things like Fast and Furious, things like running the KKK, all of it. Listen, but I already knew all this. My sources and my research is I've always told listeners if I get killed, it'll be a white supremacist or a tranny, because that's they're terror groups.
Right.
So it would take 10 hours to tell the story about the Southern Poverty Law Center and what they've done to us. But I mean, these guys have run me over repeatedly, and so I just cannot stress to people enough that I guarantee you, Obama and Brennan and the rest of them, that's who runs it, are definitely shitting themselves. Sorry for the French, but This is seismic. You cannot exaggerate. Trump just literally, use a Star Wars analogy, this is a torpedo down the reactor shaft.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, I know you got to go in a minute, but what do you think
I'll stay as long as you want.
No, I know you got to hard out. I want to get you out of here on time, Alex, but I know what do you think the end goal was for the SPLC and creating this chaos? Was it control? What do you believe their end game was?
Well, I mean, the facts are in. You have the head of the Southern Poverty Law Center caught a few years ago in a documentary in his office, and he's got maps up on the wall tracking the decline of white population and Christians.
Oh.
So
there you go.
And I'm not even Catholic, but they have this weird hard-on for Catholics. They've calculated conservative Catholics are a problem because I guess they're not pro-Israel or whatever, or just mindlessly. And the goal is ending Western civilization. And they say it in white papers, they go, the only people standing up against us historically are white people. And they particularly talk about Scots and Irish and people in the actual big reports. So they're like, oh, the Scots have infested and infected the body politic with resistance. So, we've got to just get rid of the white people. There's like CDC heads saying in famous videos. And so they have this weird obsession that if we just, get rid of these people, that's not me saying it. I mean, it's on his wall, the decline of white people, and his goal is to get rid of us. And that's the head of the Southern Poverty Law Center. Pope talk. So
there you go. I mean, that's not mysterious at all.
The biggest Southern poverty group is white.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, you look at but that's the thing. It's total. It's just psychotic snake eating its own tail. And again, I would expect now with this move, we're going to see a lot more of this. And this is exactly what Trump needed to do. And Trump always amazes me. He's been doing so bad for 8 months. He was doing so good the first 6-8 months. It was beautiful. Then he went off course and got horrible. And if he gets back on course, I'll be, they're supporting no matter what he says about me. I just see him as a vehicle to get stuff done. But if you want me to come back on next week, the whole other bigger story is The Onion, backed by Bloomberg and the Democrats publicly, finally is getting a shutdown next Thursday. And the guy they're bringing in to run it, who says he's going to wear my skin, produces national TV shows on Adult Swim that are pro-pedophile, pro-Satanism. And it is over the top insane. So we've launched our new news site just today, AlexJonesLive.com, AlexJonesLive.com. And all the radio stations are ready. We got the same satellites, new studios. But yeah, I've had InfoWars since 97, been on air since 94. This is a big date coming up, but AlexJonesLive.com is the new destination, the tip of the spear, and so much is happening. But things are moving very, very quickly. I'm a big fan of you guys' work. It's great to be on with you. I'd love to have you on my show next week because it's the twilight of the original InfoWars.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to have you on again next week, too, as this disaster of The Onion swoops in and pedophiles taking over InfoWars. Alex, great to see you. Thank you so much. It's unbelievable. But, yeah, we'd love to have you back on next week, and we'd love to talk. So thank you so much for your courage and all this. We really appreciate it. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah. Dear Donald, I never wrote you up in calling. Yeah, I voted for you last time. Cause I thought that you were honest. Yeah. No, not honest, but maybe less a liar than your bullshit critics. It honestly pains me to have to put your bitch ass on the bitch list. Hello, President of Peace, who said he just wanted to see all of the dying, stop the spying, stop and drain the swamp bigly. You said the deep state would be shaking. We didn't know that would mean shaking your hand for all you've done and spanking BB's enemies. But done, it seems like things are different than you swore that they would be. It's been a decade since you ran on we should lock a pillory, and now she's implicated with Bill and your pedo friend Epstein. And now suddenly you're silent when she skips a court hearing. Man, just be honest, are you bitches all on the same fucking team? Because it's a matter of fact, you are hired for exactly that, to lock up the criminals running the country. Yeah, we had your back. The whole damn time, you were at least pretending that you were a victim of all the fake media. Dinosaur hypocrites, feminists, raging the leftist hysteria. Russiagate, piss tape, stolen elections, indictments, and Stormy Daniels' very expensive tits. Yes, they were wrong. Yes, you were right in a lot that you said we believed at the time. But now that you got all the power to tower above all the leeches, you cower to please your donors and demons and marks of the beast. Cause you think they can save you, but now you're on your knees. We loved you up until you proved you were the same. But with a martyrdom complex, no dissent. The dissidents will get pissed and you're to blame. Yeah, Donald, we pumped our stupid ass fists and we said fight, fight, fight to another Democrat bitch. I guess that hope is addictive. Hope is addictive. Yeah. I don't mean to be mean, but I got a lot to fit into this is, and I wish you wouldn't have brought us on yourself. But the hell, I gotta believe you when you say you don't need my vote. I voted for peace, I voted for reach, and results somewhere in the Middle East. I voted for Russian and Ukraine on day one. I voted for justice for every and each victim of COVID and Epstein. And Joe Biden's threatening Civil War 2 or World War 3. But it seems all we got was another old white female Dukes in the same damn rings. Betray your base for power and fame, or you might get JFK. Don't lose your head, would be a shame to see the beautiful ballroom splatter painted. Yeah, we know the stakes are high, with some big bold choices to make. And honestly, man, thanks for us. For real, we're proud of you, that's great. But since then, you've been crashing out and cashing in. It's tough to take. You at all serious now? I suppose for me, it all comes down to your friend Epstein.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Like, how am I supposed to pretend Elon didn't already call your bitch ass out on this? Like, fuck yes, we're still talking about your fucking pedo pizza ring. Every fucking politician in our fucking country seem to be all implicated in, like we're just all supposed to think it's normal for our government to sometimes diddle little kids. And bro, no, don't pretend you know what Bohemian Grove is. The faggiest pace, Nixon to ever being you. Pretend you're one of us, but you one with them above the law like Joe Biden. You said you'd lock him up for robot pets. You said Obama was a traitor and then nothing happened to him. You say you'll make our country great someday. You'll lock up all the sinners. You had more wars in this year than all your failed marriages. But bro, don't worry about the evangelicals. They're so buying in, cause dispensationalism already convinced them that Jesus Christ is a Republican and Trump is a Christian.
If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us.
How are we to act like it ain't obvious? Why suddenly it seems you're best friends with Lindsey Graham, Jeb Bush, Mike Pence, and Hillary. And all your haters done you feeling okay. And also your base doesn't seem to like when you flip on them, then flip them off, then send their sons to die for foreign aid. I gotta hand it to you, man, you played the perfect patsy puppet to convince me after everything there might be someone coming. But you're just another bitch boy, bastard, martyr, complex, retarded, complicit, Zionistic, neocon with tiny hands and even smaller fists, insisting that we take him serious as he fleels and fits while stealing Venezuelan presidents and planning for Iran and Greenland. Next it's all for babies benefit while Americans wait patiently for America to be great again. It's nice of you to finally put someone over yourself. We wish it could be, we the people, but it's clearly Israel. I hope you get a medic before you let it get so pathetic that you just hand it to the Dems. But fuck it, if you can find a way to not just bend over and take it down. I honestly don't give a fuck who wins when you're the fucking same. Afraid you'll be impeached a third time, bitch. You finally deserve it. I wish it wasn't so, but I haven't even mentioned how you turn on Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene. It seems that anyone who still agrees with the message of your own campaign are now the army. It's like this Susan.
I want everybody to stop dying.
Even you should hate you now. Do what you're told and burn the whole world down. Even you should hate you now. Do what you're told and burn the whole world down. You back in 2016 will be your enemy. You back in 2023 will be your enemy too. Do that down, we voted for it. Hate your fucking guts. So pardon me for carving this golden calf up. I never bow to New York Democrat on Epstein's account with the words of an infant and a tantrum to tout. Who grooves like an idiot and murders all the innocent. So what's a motherfucker even do with the truth? Now, guess I'll let it out till the outlaws act too. Any minute now. You were supposed to be different. We loved you up until you proved you were the same. That hard and dumb complex, no dissent. The dissidents are getting pissed and you're to blame. Yeah, we want the stupid ass fists and we said fight, fight, fight to another Democrat. Hope you know I'll never vote for this again. Yeah, you wearing a vest now, baby. You scared? The world is turning cold, the story's being told. Your soul is being sold for the silver and the gold. You're acting bold, but your heart is getting old. The secrets of the island, watch them all unfold. Baby in the vest, put his courage to the test. Running from the east, now he's hiding in the west. But Hungary is waiting, put the warrant in his chest. No place for a coward, no place to find some rest. Trump always chickens out. Empty rock is nothing to show. Irons mean it makes you go slow. Ceasefire extends, watch the ego blow. CNN is screaming that your news is getting fake. Every single promise is a heart you're gonna break. Texas is in flames, that's another big mistake. The power of the strait is a risk you cannot take. 2,000 years of wisdom, you're a child in the game. 200 years of history, you're looking pretty tame. The lion's in the water and he's calling out your name. While you're eating TACOs, you're drowning in the shame. Farmers in Colorado, they're praying for the rain. Prices going up, yeah. They're living with the pain. No missiles in the warehouse, you're flying on a plane. Empty in the pockets just to keep your little rain. But the trigger's on the finger and the lesson is humane. The eagle's in the cage and he's going quite insane. Trump always chickens out. Empty rock is nothing to show. Irons mean it makes you go slow. Ceasefire extends, watch the ego blow. Yeah. 2,500 years against 250. Do the math, homie. You can't hide behind a vest forever, baby. THCO in the building. We out.
You like to feel like you're in control, don't you, baby? It's cute. Just don't ever forget who's really driving.
Yeah, I know. I like when it feels like it's me.
That's why it works.
Yeah, it works.
You're damn right it works, baby girl. I made you, and you're gonna make Daddy proud. This is the spot. Go make my money. Don't make me ask twice.
He had the spotlight, the deals, the illusion of power. But behind every empire, there's someone pulling the strings. This fall, control is an illusion, power is a transaction, and everyone pays.
We are having very great negotiations with Iran. If Iran doesn't come to negotiate, we're going to bomb them.
2,000 years later.
So where are the Iranians? This is from Iran. All right. Then I will extend the ceasefire at Pakistan's request.
Yeah, I don't see how it can be a coincidence. The odds are enormous for this to be a coincidence. We are very concerned about this. 11 different key officials in our nuclear science program in America have either died or are missing. We've asked for information from the various agencies, the Department of Energy, the FBI, NASA, all the agencies, the Department of Defense. We want to know what they know, because what I found in 3.5 years as chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Sean, is a lot of these government agencies don't communicate with each other. We want to see everything they have on all of these sciences in their various agencies to see if we can determine if there's a missing link here, something that's consistent that would help us to determine what the cause of this is. Because again, I'm like most Americans, I don't believe that this is just a coincidence.
Yo, look at the wreckage you made. A second term of chaos in a world in flames. The numbers are out. The truth is cold. Listen! Approval ratings bleeding down to 35, and your great America who's actually alive. Gen Z turning away 76%. No, you lost the rhythm, man, you lost the flow. Erratic in the White House, talking to the ghost, while the shadow of age burns the West Coast to the East Coast. Impulsive on the trigger, erratic in the mind, leaving the soul of the nation behind. Make America great, you just made us poor, dragging our brothers through a desert war. From the UA coins to the Iranian sand, you're building the kingdom on a shifting strand. Yeah, a kingdom of lies. Kingdom of lies, 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 lies. 2 billion in crypto, world liberty greed, selling out the chips that the tyrants need. A modern teapot dome, UAE in the pocket, while the gas price shoots like a Persian rocket. No tax on tips, a lie inflation, the truth. You're burning the pockets of the American youth, renovating ballrooms for a gold-plated ego, while the world watches the Republic's soul go. Bomb 'em to the Stone Age, sounds like a crime, destroying the civilization, one bridge at a time. Hormuz is a graveyard, the allies are gone, even the Pope knows you're leading us on. Hiding in the riot is a January crew, the only thing first is what's profitable for you. Ice at the door, catching citizens by mistake, terrorizing streets for a headline's sake. Project 2025, tearing schools to the ground. Where is the freedom that we thought we found? Enemy of the people, look at the screen. The most repressive leader that we ever seen. Epstein files, hidden secrets in the dark. A predator of justice, leaving a scar. 61% say you're losing your mind. The forever war is the only thing you find. Net negative 20. The facts don't lie. Game over.
Whispers in the dark, fading into blue. Nothing ever stays, nothing ever true. A promise falling down like a star across the sky. They painted perfect horizons, but there was no goodbye. The door slowly closes, shadows taking control, dreams drifting away, no one hearing their call. Small footsteps wandering far from the light. The ocean keeps talking, but won't reply. The wind carries words never spoken out loud, only silence remains hanging over the crowd. They build up the walls, no one sees what's inside. Golden lights glowing, but nowhere to hide. Voices keep calling, dissolving the night, and answers were never meant to arrive. Lights falling down like they never existed. Dreams getting lost in an ocean so distant. They call it a heaven, but no one returns. Only echoes of silence and shadows that burn. When you hear through the night, voices fading from sight. The end disappears. Leave nothing left but these fears. Pieces keep moving, no reason, no name. A silent game played, but it's always the same. Stories are buried beneath every wave, never returning, no one left to save. Eyes wide open, but nobody sees. Hands reaching out, then lost in the breeze. Truth like a shadow, gone in the day. Only the memories refuse to fade away. Don't let them vanish like they were never there. Don't let the footprints dissolve into air. Some things remain, even time can't erase. Still burning softly in hidden space. Lights falling down like they never existed. Dreams getting lost in an ocean so distant. They call it a heaven, but no one returns. Only echoes of silence and shadows that burn. Calling out for the void, something lost, destroyed. Where did all of it go? Buried deep down below. The light is gone, but echoes remain.
We do not hate you, people of the West. We see you through the smoke of what they call progress. We have watched from across the ocean, from behind their walls. And what we see is a people who deserve better than what rules them. This is not a war cry. This is a wake-up call. Open your eyes, brothers and sisters. The hands that wave your flag are not the hands that hold you. Listen. We love Americans. We love your soul. The land of dreamers, the brave, the bold. But something sits on top of you.
Dressed in your name,
Spending your children's blood
like a game.
We love Americans. Oh yes we do.
But the ones who speak for you
Don't speak for you. Wake up, before the morning's gone. They built the cage so slow. You thought it was your home. Yeah, they hand you left and right like two halves of a lie. Different faces, different voices, same agenda inside. One wears a blue suit, one wears a red tie. But behind closed doors, they shake hands and divide. The taxes from your table fund the war you never chose. They name it liberation, but it's oil, everyone knows. They call us terrorists on the television screen, while the real terrorism wears a suit and gets a pension in a dream. They sell your children futures built on manufactured debt. Then send those very children off to wars they'll soon forget. And when the coffins come home, draped in stars and stripes, nobody on that podium is losing sleep at night. The media machine spins before the body hits the ground. A new enemy is needed every time the polls come down. We watched it from Tehran, from Kabul, from Baghdad too. The ones they demonize were people just like you. They said we hate your freedom, but your freedom is our dream. We read your constitution, we know what those words mean. It's the ones who wrote the speeches and then buried what they said, who turned that sacred document into a tool of dread.
We love Americans. We love your soul.
The land of dreamers,
The brave, the bold.
but something sits on top of you.
Dressed in your name, spending your children's blood like a game. We love Americans. Oh yes we do. But the ones who speak for you
Don't speak for you. Wake up,
before the morning's gone.
they built the cage so slow. You thought it was your home. The billionaire who funds the law and writes the law himself. The pharmaceutical machine that keeps you sick for profit and for wealth. The school that teaches history with chapters torn away, so you never ask the question, who really made it this way? They gave you social media so you'd argue with your neighbor while they signed the deals in secret, taking everything you labored. Left versus right, black versus white, they need you divided. Because a united people's the only thing they've ever dreaded. They sanctioned us, they bombed us, they painted us as beasts. But the ordinary American was never at that feast. You were working double shifts while they were working diplomats. You were counting grocery bills while they were counting combat stats. We don't confuse the empire with the people that it rules. History is full of kings who turned their own into their tools. Your founding fathers warned you, yes, they wrote it clear. That power concentrated is the thing that you should fear. That foreign wars and secret deals and banks too big to name, where the very seeds of tyranny dressed up in freedom's frame. And now we watch across the sea and wonder, do they know? Do the people of that nation see the curtain and the show? We've lost our brothers, lost our sisters, lost our skies to their machines. But we separate the people from the politics and schemes, because hatred is their weapon, love is ours to wield, and truth is the only armor that will never crack or yield. So we sing this not in anger but in solidarity, that the people of the world want nothing more than to be free from the ones who take our names and use them for their wars.
We are not your enemies.
We're prisoners of the same cause.
We love Americans. We love your soul.
The land of dreamers,
The brave, the bold.
but something sits on top of you.
Dressed in your name, spending your children's blood like a game.
We love Americans. Oh yes we do.
But the ones who speak for you
Don't speak for you. Wake up,
before the morning's gone.
they built the cage so slow. You thought it was your home. We do not celebrate your suffering, we mourn it the same way we mourn our own. Because your mother crying for a soldier is no different from my mother crying in the rubble. Pain does not have a passport, and the ones who cause it never feel it. So to every American reading a headline and feeling confused, to every citizen wondering why everything feels rigged,
You are not crazy.
you are not alone.
And from the other side of the wall they built between us,
We see you,
we hear you.
and we are standing here,
Not as your enemy,
but it's proof
that the world.
that the world. We do not hate you, people of the West.
Oh,
We see you through the smoke of what they call progress. We have watched from across the ocean, from behind their walls, and what we see is a people who deserve better than what rules them. This is not a war cry. This is a wake-up call. Open your eyes, brothers and sisters. The hands that wave your flag are not the hands that hold you. Listen. We love Americans. We love your soul. The land of dreamers, the brave, the bold. But something sits on top of you, dressed in your name, spinning your children's blood like a game. Americans. Oh yes, we do. But the ones who speak for you don't speak for you. Wake up before the morning's gone. They built the cage so slow you thought it was. They had you left and right like two halves of a lot. Different faces, different voices, same agenda inside. One wears a blue suit, one wears a red tie, but behind closed doors they shake hands and divide. The taxes from your table fund the war you never chose. They name it liberation, but it's all everyone knows. They call us terrorists on the television screen, while the real terrorism wears a suit and gets a pension and a dream. They sell your children futures built on manufactured debt, then send those buried children off to wars they'll soon forget. And when the coffins come home draped in stars and stripes, nobody on that podium is losing sleep at night. The media machine spins before the body hits the ground, and new enemies needed every time the polls come down. We watched it from Tehran, from Kabul, from Baghdad to the ones they demonize. We're people just like you. They said we hate your freedom, but your freedom is our dream. We read your constitution, we know what those words mean. It's the ones who wrote the speeches and then buried what they said, who turned that sacred document into a tool of dread. Americans, we love your soul. The land of dreamers, the brave, the bold. But something sits on top of you, dressed in your name, spinning your children's blood like a game. Americans, oh yes we do. But the ones who speak for you don't speak for you. Wake up before the morning's gone. They built the cage so slow you thought it was your home. The billionaire who funds the law then writes the law himself. The pharmaceutical machine that keeps you sick for profit and for wealth. The school that teaches history with chapters torn away, so you never ask the question, who really made it this way? They gave you social media so you'd argue with your neighbor while they sign the deals in secret, taking everything you labored. Left versus right, black versus white. They need you divided because a united people is the only thing they've ever dreaded. They sanctioned us, they bombed us, they painted us as beasts, but the ordinary American was never at that feast. You were working double shifts while they were working diplomats. You were counting grocery bills while they were counting combat stats. We don't confuse the empire with the people that it rules. History is full of kings who turn their own into their tools. Your founding fathers warned you, yes they wrote it clear, that power concentrated is the thing that you should fear. That foreign wars and secret deals and banks too big to name were the very seeds of tyranny dressed up in freedom's frame. And now we watch across the sea and wonder, do they know? Do the people of that nation see the curtain and the show? We lost our brothers, lost our sisters, lost our skies to their machines. But we separate the people from the politics and schemes, because hatred is their weapon, love is ours to wield, and truth is the only armor that will never crack or yield. So we sing this not in anger but in solidarity, that the people of the world want nothing more than to be free from the ones who take our names and use them for their wars. We are not your enemies, we're prisoners of the same cause. The land of dreamers, the brave, the bold. But something sits on top of you, dressed in your name, spinning your children's blood like a game. Americans, oh yes we do. But the ones who speak for you don't speak for you. Wake up before the morning's gone. They built the cage so slow you thought it was your home. We do not celebrate your suffering, we mourn it the same way we mourn our own. Because your mother crying for a soldier is no different from my mother crying in the rubble. Pain does not have a passport, and the ones who cause it never feel it. So to every American reading a headline and feeling confused, to every citizen wondering why everything feels rigged, you are not crazy. You are not alone. And from the other side of the wall, they built between us. We see, we hear you, and we are standing here, not as your enemy, but as proof that the world,
Gunboat shadow tankers in the narrow blue. One spark could cut 20% of the world in two. Ceasefire whispers fade as the blockade takes hold. MV Touska disabled, her engines growing cold.
Ticking closer, no time left to lose. Tensions rising, words ignite across the wires. Warning shots echo as the stakes climb higher.
USS Bruins fires on the engine room tonight. Marion's fast, dropping from the Tripoli in the fight. Hormuz Horizon, ships turn back, skies fade to black, jet fuel running dry. There's no turning back. Lufthansa grounded, KLM feels the strain.
Ryanair feels the sting. Empty terminals whisper through the rain. If the conflict burns on, shaped by a wordless hand. Global forces pull strings while the people make their stand. Your wings in the air, the world begins to unfurl. Madman at the wheel, driving us from this world.
And the prices rise while the orders fly.
Oil climbing higher, Brent near 96 once more. Europe counts the hours, 6 weeks of kerosene left in store.
Refineries fall quiet, trucks stall in the glow. One narrow strait decides how far the whole world goes. Food shelves growing empty, cargo reroutes round the Cape. A calculated game, turning crisis into shape.
This is the brink, history's final choice.
The greatest shock the modern world has ever known. IEA warns of crisis deeper than seeds already sown.
From Chabahar to the Gulf of Oman, the seizure made it clear. Iran calls it on piracy, retaliation draws near. Deluge cargo suspected, the ship now in US hands. Talks collapsing in Pakistan across the shifting sands. Trump claims victory, says he prohibited bombing Lebanon.
Yet the blockade stays in full force, his madman plan. And the spider keeps weaving tighter every day.
Then the shortages deepen when the shelves run fully bare. Medicine disappears, hospitals fill with quiet despair.
Blackouts sweep the cities, factories fall to dust. Riots spark in shadows as the final chains combust.
Winter brings a colder dark with no fuel left to burn. Feels like
It's all unraveling beneath their careful game. Years unfold in silence if the strait stays closed too long. Economies unravel, supply lines break and yawn.
Schools shut down forever. Hospitals lose their light. Nations turn on neighbors in the never-ending night.
Globalists reshape the map while the old world fades away, profiting from the chaos in the breaking of the day.
Famine spreads like wildfire. Migration floods the shore. Civilization fractures. What was built crumbles to the floor.
Madman tweets thunder while the world holds its breath.
Hormuz Horizon. Ships turn back. Skies fade to black. Jet fuel running dry. There's no turning back. Airlines cut their routes. Grounded dreams ignite. Summer slowly turns to ashes in the endless night.
If the conflict burns on, shaped by reckless hands, global forces take hold while the old world slowly stands. No wings in the air, the world begins to unfurl. Madman at the wheel, driving us from this world. What if the tanks run empty and the lights all fade to black? No flights across the oceans, no simple way to turn back. Cities slow then crumble, anger rises in the streets. From distant orders to the silence at our feet, the woods like distant thunder, threats of worlds undone, pawn against pawn beneath the rising sun. USS spewing fires on the engine room, Marines fast roping from the Tripoli. MV Touska now in US custody, could become spoils of war. Iran calls it armed piracy, blatant aggression, we will respond! Europe has maybe 6 weeks of jet fuel left, KLM cutting 160 flights, Lufthansa and Ryanair feeling the strain, Brent hovering near 96, oil markets in turmoil, precious metals holding a safe haven firm, ceasefire hanging by a thread, talks collapsing, this could be the spark! So before the last plane falls, silent from the sky, before the last city flickers out and says goodbye,
before the final chain snap and we lose all that we built, let the warmongers step back, let wiser voices tilt. Open the strike once more, let the tankers freely flow, before the fragile world we share collapses from the blow. Our planet's deeply connected, too precious to destroy. Just peace above all else, it's our only path of joy. Hormuz Horizon, let the healing light begin. Ceasefire now, before the end sets on. Hormuz Horizon.
peace in the strait. We all fall in.